Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Bridge course in English Literature that is offered by the Department of English of Yeshwant Mahavidyalaya, Nanded. In this video, we are going to talk about drama and its types. When we say what drama is, from the dawn of humankind, ancient humans have been fond of hearing and telling stories, especially of fairies or gods and goddesses. The different forms of drama that exist today are the refined form of the earlier storytelling tradition. Ancient civilizations like the Indian, Greek, and Roman have their records of drama dating back to more than 7,000 years. First, it was oral, and this oral tradition later took up new phase of folk literature and became a storehouse of history and literature. When we look at drama, writing drama involves dramatic structure of a work, that is, the text of the play. The first written record of the analysis on the dramatic structure is found in Aristotle's The Poetics, taking us back to 355 BC. Aristotle defines drama as an imitation of an action that is serious and also has a magnitude complete in itself. He also mentions that the action in the drama should be single and complete, presenting a reversal of fortune due to hamartia, thereby giving rise to a perfect catharsis. Aristotle mentions about 6 important elements of a drama, especially tragedy, of which the first 4 are plot, character, thought, and diction. He considers obligatory and the last 2, melody and spectacle, as optional. So 4 important elements are there in the drama, which is compulsory: plot, character, thought, and diction. And the optional elements are melody and spectacle. When we look at the purpose of drama, initially drama was a source of creating pleasure, delighting a specific audience. Gradually, it underwent drastic changes in keeping with the time of period. For each period had its own specific opinion about the purpose of drama. To provide an aesthetic pleasure became the dictum for the elite, and the dramatists had to cater to this demand as these elites were the early patronizers of this art. With changing times, to teach and delight became the purpose of drama. This marked a definite point in drama which led to different opinions, giving rise to various types of drama. Each type of drama was written with a different purpose, such as number 1, to expose the follies of the society and show correct behaviors. Number 2, to stimulate social change. Number 3, to voice the concerns of the marginalized. So, these purposes brought about a massive shifts in the forms of drama. The very first element of drama is the plot, which is the most important thing according to Aristotle. Plot or mythos, as Aristotle says in Greece, in the English language, plot is explained as a piece of land or ground. As a verb, it means to make a plan. The term plot, as we use in drama, means to arrange a series of events and situations. The plot may be defined as a pattern of events. Aristotle explains plot in a dramatic work as a chain of events and the action which are ordered or channelized towards achieving a desired emotional effect, catharsis in tragedy, and a comic relief, especially in comedy. An ideal plot should have a clearly defined process for the characters to solve. A plot should have a proper beginning, which Aristotle calls as protasis, proper middle, epitosis, and a proper end, which is called as catastrophic. It should be a completely organized work. Looking at plot, Aristotle says it is a proper beginning which must be very clear, intelligible, and should not provoke the audience to ask questions like why and how. The Greeks used a prologue. A prologue is to give antecedents in the drama for a clear understanding to the audience. A proper middle should be a rational, consequent situation arising from the beginning and leading towards the catastrophe. A proper ending is one which answers all the questions and logically ends the story. A dramatist may make use of peripeteia and anagnorisis to achieve a perfect and complete catharsis. A drama ideally should have a single plot, but it can also have a main plot and a subplot, as we observed in King Lear. The subplot should also be complete in itself, just like the main plot. It should be just and perfect. It should have the length just right to allow the change from happiness to misery if it is a tragedy, and misery to happiness if it is a comedy, in such a way that the spectator should remember the beginning of the play when he reaches the end of it. Also important in a plot, Aristotle divides it into two types, which is called as a simple plot, number 1, and a complex plot, number 2. As you see in the slide, a simple plot is one which moves uniformly in one direction without any violent or sudden change. A simple plot may not have peripeteia and anagnorisis. A complex plot is one which has peripeteia, that is, reversal of action, and anagnorisis, that is, recognition of truth. It should have an unexpected end as a result of the action done, with best intentions, thereby resulting in a perfect catharsis. Catharsis means a purification through the emotions of pity and fear. When we look at the plot, we have three unities which are very important, as Aristotle states this. An ideal plot is believed to have the three unities. Though Aristotle speaks only about one unity, the unity of action, he also gives a passing reference of unity of time but does not mention unity of place. Unity of action means that a plot of a drama, especially tragedy, is like a living organism which has its own harmonizingly and harmoniously related to each other. Unity of action in a drama should be complete and should have a very closely knit structure of action leading to a desired end. This chain of action should be connected in such a way that withdrawal of one event would disjoint the unification of the whole, that is, the plot itself. All actions that are involved in the plot should be unified as a whole, and every action should be necessary to take the plot further. No action in a drama should be superfluous. When we talk about the second one, unity of time, Aristotle does not specifically discuss unity of time in a drama. Only a passing reference is found, according to which, as far as possible, drama should remain within one revolution of the sun, that is, 24 hours, and that's it. Everything in the plot of the drama should be over between the sunrise to sunset, or at the most the next sunset. The third is called as unity of place. Though Aristotle never mentioned unity of place, it is believed that in a drama there should be no change of place. And even if the scene changes, it must not be too long a distance. The entire action should take place with the unity of time and place. By time, we mean sunrise to sunset. By place, we mean only one place, and the action should be over. Aristotle gives maximum importance to the three unities in a drama. He believed that unity of action controls the entire drama, however, and it is followed strictly, the other two unities will take care automatically of themselves. The second important aspect of a drama is character. Character, which is also called as ethos in Greek language, is the agent or agents which provide motivation to the events in the plot. A character generally is a witty sketch of a person. Characters are the persons represented in a dramatic work which are interpreted by the audience through actions in a drama. The readers or spectators analyze them on moral, intellectual, and emotional qualities displayed through their own action and speeches. Soliloquies and asides. These two are the important literary devices used by the dramatist to expose a character. A soliloquy is a speech that is given by the individual or the character by staying alone on the stage. It is a way of expressing his own internal conflict or the inner mind to the audience. Aside is a dramatic technique where all the other characters also would be present in the stage, but the character comes away on the stage and talks to the audience what is going on in his inner mind. In fact, asides and soliloquies are supposed to be heard and understood only by the audience and not any other character on the stage. The chief character in a drama is called as protagonist, who may be hero or heroine. If he or she is pitted against an important or strong opponent, then the character is called as antagonist. So, protagonist is the hero or the heroine of the drama, and antagonist is the villain. If the antagonist is evil or capable of cruel and vicious actions and has evil intentions, he is normally called as the villain. So we have heroes and villains in the drama. E.M. Forster, a modern writer, in his very famous text called Aspects of Novel that he has published in 1927, introduced new terms of characterization like flat and round character. A flat character, Forster says, is built around a single idea or quality and lacks individualizing details, and therefore can be adequately described in a single phrase or sentence. We can predict as to how a flat character acts in the drama. The characterization of Desdemona in Othello is a flat character. A round character, on the contrary, as Forster says, is complex in temperament and motivation and is represented with subtle particularity. Such a character, therefore, is difficult to describe with adequacy as a person in real. And like real persons, he is capable of suppressing the others. A round character is highly unpredictable as to how he or she would behave on the stage or in the plot or in the drama. For example, Iago, the villain in Othello, is a round character, but Desdemona and Othello are flat characters. Normally, the heroes and the heroines are flat characters. They behave in a particular way because their character is determined, their nature is perfect. And the idea actually on which the hero or the heroine is built is obviously a permanent feature where we can predict as to how these characters would behave or act. Whereas normally the villains who keep on changing because of their vicious minds and creates plot after subplot are highly unpredictable characters. Such unpredictable characters are called as round characters. So every drama or a piece of imagination would have flat characters and round characters. Talking of the diction, which is the third important feature of a drama, which is also called as lexis in Greek language, it refers to the kind of language used by the author. It can be considered as a tool that heightens the narrative, making it more dramatic. In drama, diction signifies the use of certain words, phrases, and sentence structures. Diction is an important element in drama as the dialogues play a significant role in achieving the expected effect on the audience. It is through diction that dramatists communicate their stories to the audience. Diction can be analyzed as simple, lucid, or figurative on the basis of the choice of vocabulary. Every age uses different diction. For example, the neoclassic diction was largely borrowed from the Romans, say Virgil, and from the English as Edmund Spenser. The writer adopts diction depending upon the genre or the type of drama. What Dryden defined as poetic license is the liberty which writers have assumed to themselves in all ages. It is the most commonly used term for diction alone. Prominent characteristics of the 18th century poetic diction were its archaism and the use of epithets. So, diction in general is the kind of language that is used by the author. The fourth important aspect of a drama is thought. Thought, which is also called as dionyia in Greek language, is according to Aristotle always be didactic in nature, thereby complementing the purpose of drama, which is to teach and to delight. Thought is the power of saying whatever can be said or what is appropriate to the occasion. It is the intellectual element in a tragedy and is expressed mainly through mouthpieces and sometimes through other characters as well. The mouthpiece is exactly that character which talks for the dramatist. Mostly the mouthpieces are the protagonists in the drama. The fifth element in a drama is melody. Melody or molpe in Greek language, Aristotle explains it as some embellishments to the drama, namely melody and spectacle. Melody means verse, V-E-R-S-E, verse or poetry and song. And also their purpose is to beautify and decorate a drama. Chorus is the major element of melody. Melody gives pleasure, but this element is considered as an optional element in a drama, especially in the tragedy. Spectacle is the sixth and the last element in a drama. Spectacle, which is also called as opsis, according to Aristotle, is everything that is seen or heard on the stage. Stage decoration in general is called as spectacle. It is the scenic effect which has more to do with the stagecraft than with writing drama. And hence Aristotle writes that the dramatist must depend for his effect on his own powers rather than spectacle. So, spectacle and melody. Melody, which deals with language, and spectacle, which deals with the stagecraft, are all optional elements for Aristotle. Now, the next important feature that Aristotle talks about is performance. Aristotle does not mention about performance in his Poetics, but as drama is a performing art, performance is of utmost importance. All the above mentioned elements of the drama would become useless if the performance of an actor is not up to the mark. A performance contains the capacity to make or break a play. Therefore, it would be right if we call performance as the soul of drama. The modern dramatists, in fact, have given much importance to the stagecraft and performance. Now, when we look at the types of drama, we have 5-act plays, which are quite lengthy and use 5 acts to complete the action, 4-act play, 3-act play, and 1-act play. A German critic, Gustav Freytag, in his book Technique of Drama that he published in 1863, presented his analysis of a five-act drama through a pyramid structure. His pyramid was as follows. Number 1, exposition. Number 2, rising action. Number 3, climax. Number 4, falling action. And number 5, revelation or catastrophe. The rising action of a story was a series of events beginning after the exposition of the story and building up towards the climax. The climax was a turning point which changed the protagonist's fate in the play, and the action moved from bad to good in a comedy, from good to bad in a tragedy for the protagonist. The changing action is the movement of final suspense unfolding itself, followed by catastrophe. Freytag mentions that this scheme should be executed strictly, leading to a proper catharsis. Tragedy is the first type of drama that Aristotle has given maximum importance to. He defines tragedy as the imitation of an action, serious and complete, and of a certain magnitude, in a language beautified in different parts with different kinds of embellishment through action and not narration, and through scene of pity and fear, bringing about the catharsis of these emotions. Aristotle worked on the concept of tragedy with great insight and comprehension. Tragedy today is understood as a story with an unhappy ending. In Greek, tragedy was referred to as a goat song. This word has come in use as there was a tradition in Greece to give away a goat as a gift to the winner in a dramatic contest. This genre later was developed into several types like revenge tragedy, heroic tragedy, sentimental tragedy, etc. Shakespeare, John Webster, John Dryden, Nicholas Rowe, and others were some of the major writers of tragedy. The Elizabethan age is considered as the golden period for tragedy. Shakespeare wrote extraordinary tragedies. His 4 tragedies, named as Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear, are among the greatest tragedies of the world. Tragedy has come a long way, but it has still not lost its luster. The next type of drama is comedy. Comedies have been written since times immemorial. The ancient Grecians like Aristophanes, Plautus, and Terence were some of the greatest comedy writers of the world. Comedy is a representation of character of lower type, worse than average. By lower or worse, Aristotle did not mean morally bad, but the one who is ridiculous. When he defines the ridiculous as something which does not cause any pain or harm to others, rather it is productive of laughter. George Meredith, in his idea of comedy, opines that comedy appeals to the intentions and intelligence, poor and simple. So, comedy appeals to the intelligence that is pure and simple and aims at our wit. Bergson's laughter mentions that the laughter of comedy appeals to the intelligence, pure and simple, and is characterized by the absence of any harsh feelings. There are 2 functions of comedy. One, to provide light-hearted fun and laughter. This is the English idea of comedy. Whereas the second function is mainly corrective. This function is performed by laughing at vanity, affection, and other forms of deviation from the expected and the normal. Comedy laughs at some person or incident out of keeping with our social habit. This is a classical or the French concept of comedy. Comedy thus serves a larger purpose, which is to correct the follies of the society. There are several types of comedies: romantic comedy, comedy of manners, comedy of humor, the mask, and so on. The next interesting feature of the type of drama is farce, which is a low kind of comedy and seeks to provide boisterous laughter by the use of absurd characters, situations, and dialogue. The word comes from a Latin word to stuff. Farce means to stuff, as a farce is stuffed with absurd characters and incidents. It is characterized by exaggeration and extravagance, and there is much in it that does not appeal to our rationale. Farce does not appeal to the intellect, for there is not much to be understood and appreciated. The fourth variety of drama is historical drama. A historical drama is based upon the facts from history, but these facts are imaginatively treated. The characters are historical, but the dramatist's imagination breathes new life into them. Prior to Shakespeare's famous histories like Henry's and Richard's series, Marlowe's Edward II rose to fame. Shakespeare's history unfolded the suffering of the royal house and more especially of its war at home and abroad. In a historical drama, the aim is to deal with the materialistic issues of failure or success in the achievement of practical ends. The theme of a historical play is how a man fails and how a man may succeed in attaining a practical mastery of the world. These dramas are full of violence and intrigue. The fifth kind of drama is melodrama. Melodrama occurs when the playwright sacrifices truth to life through either character or event for the sake of theatrical effect. There is a violence in language and action. It is important to recognize here that violent words and deeds are by no means always or necessarily melodramatic. The sixth kind of drama is mask. This was very popular in the age of Shakespeare. It was called mask as the actors wore masks on their faces at the time of performance. Ben Jonson was one of the major writers who wrote masks. A mask usually uses allegorical and mythological subjects to explain itself. The characters are usually gods and goddesses from mythology or personified qualities like delight, grace, love, harmony, and the soul. The scenes are at exotic venues and performed on a grand scale. Milton's Camus is the finest example of a mask. The seventh kind of drama is a problem play, where we come down to the modern age. A problem play is a type of drama popularized by Henrik Ibsen, the Norwegian playwright of the 19th century. In a problem play, the dramatist puts forward a situation through the protagonist in the form of a social problem. A character, which usually is a mouthpiece of the dramatist, is introduced to propagate the dramatist's ideas, opinions, and solutions to the problem that is presented in the play. Ibsen's A Doll's House, that he published in 1879, discusses the position of the middle class women in the 19th century. George Bernard Shaw's play, Mrs. Warren's Profession, published in 1893, raised the issue of prostitution. The problem play has a subtype which is known as discussion play, which discusses the problem to the core. The next variety of the drama is the absurd play, which is still modern. The absurd playwrights believed that the human condition is essentially absurd or meaningless, and therefore it should be represented in such literature through drama. This movement of the absurdist began in France after World War II as a rebellion against the traditional forms of drama. The massacre of humans led to the belief that human existence has no meaning or purpose at all in this world. Logical constitution and argument gave way to irrational and illogical speech and its ultimate conclusion. Absurd play attacks the comfortable beliefs of religion or political orthodoxy and shook the society as well as the audience. Samuel Beckett, Jean Genet, Badal Sarkar are some of the writers of the theatre of the absurd. Another variety of drama is the writing of the one act play, which became very popular in the modern age. A one act play is a drama which has only one act, as against the 5 acts, 4 acts, or the 3 acts of the past. This is contradictory to the drama of the previous with the different acts. A one act play may have one or more than one scenes. The number of characters is also limited to 2, 3, or at the most 4 in the play. The origin of one act plays goes back to the ancient Greece, where they were performed as interludes between the two tragedies. One act plays gained popularity in the late 20th century. Tennessee Williams' The Chalk White Substance, published in 1991, Edward Albee's The Gout, published in 2002, are some of the very famous one act plays. Opera is the next variety of musical drama. The Oxford Dictionary explains the word opera as a composition in which poetry, dance, and music are all combined to create a dramatic effect on the stage. The dialogues are sung, complemented by instruments and music on the stage. It is an inseparable part of the Western classical musical tradition, which is believed to have originated in the 16th century. Opera reached its peak in 19th century. The Beijing Opera, the Hong Kong Opera, the opera related to Romeo and Juliet or Troilus and Cressida are some of the world's famous operas. Thus we come to the end of the discussion of drama and its types. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you had enjoyed the session. Let's meet in the next video. Bye for now.